30 days, 3 contestants, $1 billion, and don't forget 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Can you survive in Running from Diddy? Hi, my name is Co Cinema, survivor of Running from Diddy. Here are the C points of the Running Man 2025 and my very intelligent thoughts on it. I didn't mean key, I meant C for comedy, entertainment, and value. Why value? Cosine, Co Cinema, math. You get it? No? Okay. Let's get this out the way. This movie is decent. If you want a turn your brain off, eat popcorn movie, here you go. I've seen a lot of critique against this movie, but honestly it's fun. There are definitely some gripes, but you get what you expect. Not every movie is Tenet, Dune, or Cuties.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Let's start. We meet Ben Richards, a real Timmy Tough Knuckles Good Samaritan who cares for his family in a near future dystopian world. Ben talks to his old boss about getting his job back. His boss blames him for talking to a union rep about radiation exposure and chastises him for bringing his sick kid. Ultimately, the boss tells him no, and Ben storms off, revealing a lot of other people waiting to interview. But here we get our first glimpse of an ad for the Running Man, Ben vowing to his daughter that he's not that dumb. Sure. At home, Ben cares for his daughter and sees an ad for Speed the Wheel, a Wheel of Fortune-esque death game. Ben jots down notes trying to find ways to make easy money. The participant answers wrong and falls to his death. Yikes. Ben's wife Sheila comes home and they chat about how horrible life is, terrible jobs, no access to healthcare, no money. It's very on the nose. For example, the daughter is missing a sock, which causes them to panic because they're hard to get. Luckily, they don't have a dryer. My dryer is a demon consuming every sock thrown in, and the worst part is he always leaves a survivor from the pair, so I'm forced to wear mismatched bright pink Hello Kitty and gray black cane socks every day. Ben leaves for game show tryouts, promising he'll get them out of poverty. He walks through Slumside, eventually reaching the gates that separate the poor from the rich, literally showing the class distinction. Ben mates it into the game show queue, and a man behind him vomits blood and collapses. Ben asks the guards for help, stepping out of line where he is beaten down and sent to the back of the line. But he did find the sock. Hey, look at that. Ben mates it to the attendant, who reveals he's been fired from every job due to insubordination. Ben notices a warning sign on his profile and prods for an answer, but is instead antagonized. Billy Badass punches the glass screen and is sent to floor 6. He arrives in a prep room for the contestants. Ben meets Laughlin and Tim. They're people with personalities. They suit up and run through some tests, highlighting Ben's job experience and being the GOAT. He saves Tim from falling, but that's a no-no, so a guard goes to hit him after the test, but Billy Big Balls catches it. He takes a psych questionnaire, resulting in him being called the angriest man ever, and quote, "That pisses me off." For the final test, they suit up for their respective shows. Ben, Tim, and Laughlin are in red jumpsuits for The Running Man. They're individually interviewed by the show's slick producer, Dan Killian. He bribes Ben to join the show, and eventually Ben signs on. Ben is assured by network security that his family will be kept safe from the general public. What's the point in having the money if your family is robbed or killed? Ben gets a phone call with Sheila, where they say their goodbyes after he admits he's on The Running Man. The show The Running Man is all about 3 runners surviving 30 days being hunted by everyone, and I mean everyone. Your coworker, murderer. Your grandma, murderer. Your dog, murderer. This dog, innocent. The runners earn money each day they survive, sent to their family in Ben's case, all the way to $1 billion if they make the full 30 days. They earn bonus money by killing goons or hunters and must submit a videotape every day through the mail to prove they're still alive. On the other hand, the viewers can report and or directly intervene for a cash prize. Lastly, the hunters are a group of soldiers led by McCone, who, well, hunt. Ben gives the security guy a message and the sock to give to his family. Ben arrives at his nice apartment to relax before the show, sort of the calm before the storm. Time passes while Ben watches trashy reality shows. He eventually receives a note from his wife giving back the lucky sock. The security guy preps Ben by giving him a bracelet which works as a timer and reward notifications for the show. Ben walks with Killian backstage and is told to do whatever he wants. It's good freebie, baby. Bobby, the show's host, briefly jokes to Ben. A crappy ad for The Running Man plays explaining the game, immediately followed by Bobby and dancers who perform on stage. They introduce Ben on stage, telling lies to sell the show. Ben's famous last words, "F you." Ben then proceeds to trash talk the crowd before he's taken off stage. Dan gives good advice on how to survive initially. Ben promises he'll get him someday. The runners take a shoot down where they're given a basic starter pack. Ben runs off and is immediately spotted by his taxi driver. He jumps out and makes it to a warehouse looking for Molly. Not Molly, Molly. An Edward Spook underground mole type of guy. Ben pays Molly for multiple new identities. Ben Richards, never heard of him. John Springer, the GOAT. The super sucky part of this is Molly had a job ready for Ben, but didn't tell him because he wanted to surprise him. And, well, it's too late now. So, that sucks. Ben arrives at the train station and gets a ticket to New York. The game officially starts and Ben mistakenly threatens a kid who was trying to warn him that his mustache is falling off. Ben apologizes and offers his snack box. Ben gets a hotel and fulfills his show obligation of recording a 10-minute clip. Reality TV plays again and he's earned $5,000 for one day. Molly is tortured and reveals Ben's new identity. Love of God! The hunters make it to his hotel, but it was a dream. He wakes up and Tim is killed on TV. So sad. He leaves the hotel and takes a bus to Boston. He talks to a homeless vet and buys his jacket and motel room from him because he doesn't want his name attached. The hotel is trash. Ben scouts out his new place, making himself at home. He scares himself when he finds a grenade during his search. He then records his video, but is waiting for the streets to clear so he can drop off his tape. Some tweaker, Ben calls Frank, scares Ben, pointing right at him. Ben leaves to shower. Afterward, he goes to the window and finds Frank staring at him. Ben walks away and it clicks that he recognizes the hunter from the beginning. The hunters descend on him. In the background, you can hear the audio of the show describing the events unfolding. Ben tricks the hunters into running away from his room. He goes to the rooftop using a rope to climb down. He breaks into his room, alerting the hunters. He gets geared up to run, but unfortunately, the hunters make it to his door and start blasting. Ben jumps out the window and swings into someone's room below him, who's watching the show. He runs from the hunters and slides into the elevator going down. How they didn't land a single shot despite it being a narrow corridor is beyond me. Ben throws a grenade at McCone, who kicks it back. Ben luckily throws it at the elevator cables above him and plummets into the basement. Ben accidentally sets it ablaze trying to navigate. The hunters shoot it up. Ben warns it's about to blow as he jumps down the sewer. The building explodes, and Ben finishes his tape. Ben comes out and a kid he noticed earlier goes after him. Ben gets to jump on him, but the kid tells him his big bro can help him. The three talk briefly and Ben gives them money for their sick sister. On TV, they're calling Ben a crazy killer and Ben asks if they can get him out of Boston. Big Bro agrees. Big Bro shows Ben a video of a guy named The Apostle, who breaks down the real rules of the Running Man. Hopeless Dude, which is Tim, Negative Dude, which is Laughlin, and Final Dude, which is Ben. The network cheats, but allows Final Dude to live until peak viewership, then they kill him. It's all a setup for views. Everything is set up in live since the network owns it all. Ben reveals the truth of what he's learned in a recording. They watch it live and it is altered by AI, proving the network runs it all. Big Bro's mom kicks Ben out. Big Bro still helps Ben out by putting Ben in the trunk and driving him away. However, they were spotted and get chased, being shot at. Ben hits a guy with a lug wrench. Big Bro crashes into the guys and then runs them over. Big Bro tells Ben he has his back and to go find Elton in Derry, Maine, in reference to it since it's based on Stephen King's novel. Big Bro gives Ben the rundown on how to survive with Elton, giving him a gun and warning him to not bring up hot dogs. I'm being for real. In a hotel, Ben watches Laughlin living it up. He goes to deposit his video but is spotted. He fights and runs. He manages to evade and hitches a ride on a train to Maine. There, he sees the same spray-painted message, Richards lives, that he saw in Boston. People are watching The Running Man at a sort of projector party. Laughlin is at a casino. She runs in a similar fashion to Ben's apartment sequence, which I actually forgot to mention was my favorite part of this movie. I thought the way they did it was actually really cool. Definitely the best action in this movie. Anyways, people are killed as Laughlin escapes. However, it gets revealed during the recording, 2 kids burn her alive with flamethrowers. They get money and a lifetime supply of cereal. Ben makes it to the address and meets Scott Pilgrim, aka Elton. Elton reveals they have DNA sniffers in every street lamp in America, and that's how they locate you. Elton's dad was a cop, but didn't sell out. He became a hot dog vendor, but was killed by his own cops. Elton explains that the country is tired and ready to blow. If Ben wins, he's the initiator of a bomb. Ben just wants to get back to his family, but it doesn't matter since it's Ben versus the world either way. Ben records a video for his daughter as his tape. Elton's mom catches Ben, and she is a zombified Facebook Karen who wants him dead. Elton stops her before she can hit the emergency button, but Elton ultimately hits the button when he realizes he can kill some goons. The house is almost immediately shot up. Elton throws his mom into a broom closet and goes full-on Home Alone massacre style on the goons. He uses a water gun and electrocutes them. He He catches some on fire and launches some off the staircase. Ben and Elton slide down a pole, move the hot dog cart, and go underground. The tweaker hunter stabs Elton. Ben fights him. Elton eventually slashes his Achilles, stopping the fight. Dan tells the hunter he wants to talk to Ben through his glasses. Ben questions why they don't try to fake it, but Dan reveals they tried, but people want real people for that human spark. Dan tells Ben to kill the hunter, but he opts to shoot the camera instead. They launch out a shed in an ATV cart. A heli chases them as they flee. Elton gives Ben a map to the bunker and shows a bunch of explosives by his feet. Elton gets killed by McCone. Ben accepts he's the initiator and floors it at the hunter he saved and blows everything up, falling off the bridge into the water. It's day 17. Bobby is rallying the viewers to want Ben killed. Ben walks through a neighborhood in development in order to rest. Ben has a dream of his family. He records his video believing he's going to win it. Ben sees the DNA sniffers and cameras inbound. A woman named Amelia is being self-driven while she puts on makeup, talks to her friend, and watches trashy reality all at once. So naturally, Ben hijacks her car, speeds against traffic, narrowly escaping. Amelia goes off spouting the propaganda she's seen on TV. Ben reveals the truth about him and his family. There's a class disparity. We're all human talk. It's on the nose. It's the typical, we are all the same, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, they're pulled over by the Minutemen militia. And I think they misspelled it, if I remember correctly. I don't have the picture in front of me. Anyways, there are some goons who try to kill Ben, but they're killed instead by the camera drones. The network wants them to live for now. AI footage of Amelia makes her see the truth of the fakeness of the show. People are gathered to cheer him on. The hunters let him through so his death can be live and spectacular. Ben bluffs that he has a bomb, clearing the crowd gathered, and negotiates a plane and parachute for him and Amelia. They board the plane, and Ben tells McCone to take off his mask. McCone blows it off, but Dan in his earpiece tells him to. YouTuber face reveal. Dan and Ben talk on the plane, and Dan wants to give Ben his own show, The Hunter. The only condition is he has to kill the 4 remaining hunters. Why would he kill them? Revenge for his wife and child. The hunter he killed was in a tight group. They breached his family's new place and shot and killed them. Ben snaps and walks to the cockpit. Bobby announces to the viewers what the hunters did, and they see. One hunter gets a gun and goes to confront Ben. He gets a jump on him and begins fighting the 3 of them. The fight was pretty cool, and of course, Ben wins. Also, I misspoke earlier. I said the apartment scene had the best action. It was actually this part that did, but the apartment scene was still my favorite sequence in this movie. Ben goes after McCone, who's playing hide and seek. Amelia has one parachute, McCone has the other. McCone jumps Ben and they fight it out. Ben is slashed, but McCone loses an eye. McCone reveals he was the 29 Days runner, but took the deal to become a hunter. Before McCone kills Ben, the plane conveniently moves, making him miss. The plane moves back and McCone slams into the window. He boasts he doesn't need the gun to kill Ben, throwing it away. Ben outsmarts McCone, yanking his chute, trapping him. Ben turns his knife on McCone and kills him. Amelia apologizes and Ben gives her the propaganda Elton had. Amelia launches out the plane. Ben is bleeding out. Bobby and Dan announce Hunter sits. They tell Ben to play ball and that he's live on air. Ben gives a monologue revealing the truth live on Freevee. The rich get richer, poor get poorer. Pay attention to your family, not the TV. They're forcing us to fight each other, rather than. What he says is all true, like everything else. After his monologue, Dan says, just kidding, LOL. We're gonna show this AI clip of you being crazy. Oh, and you're gonna hit the second tower. Dan gives him one last chance, but Ben says no. Before he can strike, a missile blows up the plane. Pause. No, literally. The scene is paused by the apostle. He reveals that they're being lied to about Ben's finale. The black box for the jet was found and uncovered with the truth of what was really said. It spread like wildfire, and now there is more of a resistance. Did Ben survive? It's possible, because of an escape pod in the jet. But who knows? In a nice grocery store with nice clothes, we see Ben's family is alive and well. They make it to the register, and the woman grabs a brand new pair of the red Lucky Sots to scan. Sheila says, those aren't mine. The cashier says, but Mrs. Richards, the man out there paid for those sots and your groceries. Sheila says that's not her name as she walks to the window and sees a masked man that very much looks like Ben. The viewers of The Running Man are all Richards Lives fans. Bobby sees and quits. They try and stop him, but Bobby pushes past. Dan goes on stage and immediately Molotovs are thrown. Chaos erupts as he attempts to escape. He trips on some cables and our farmer Ben pulls up with McCone's handgun. Ben counts down to 5, calls action, and pulls the trigger. In my opinion, I think The Running Man was a solid 6 out of 10 movie. The message the movie delivered is true and has a place in today's world, but should it be delivered in this movie? I don't know. There are some problems with this movie, like McCone's reveal was lackluster. Him being the day 29 runner should have been handled better. There's also Ben as a character, who seems to be this family man or this burn it all down guy. However, you're in luck since you don't have to watch it since I gave you this video. Only watch the apartment scene and the plane scene on YouTube. That's all. Bye bye.
I understand it now.